Art. Tim McLaughlin is not here. I haven't heard anything from him, but we have a quorum. There are no additions or adjustments to the agenda, so we'll review the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Go for it.
Second. Rachel's.
Any corrections to that? No. All in favor? That's everyone. Any audience members want to do anything? I don't think we have any audience members that aren't already participating tonight. We do not have any action items, so we will move on to other items. We have a wonderful presentation about our adult education.
Okay, just to get started?
Just go ahead.
Okay. Forgive me, I do not have my presentation memorized, so I will be reading most of it. My bad.
Danny's coming in if you want to hold on.
Okay.
Shouldn't have started.
Switch over for Danny.
You have a minute to memorize now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll scooch over so you go. I'll give you.
We're about to scooch.
Okay. So, I'm Takia Cox. I'm the director of Mid-Cheapskate Regional Adult and Community Education. You've probably heard of us before under the name of Mid-Coast Adult Ed, but we recently changed it, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So today I want to talk about what adult education is, what it looks like in our region, and how our goals align with the RSU 40 comprehensive plan, and share a little bit about our goals outside of that plan as well. So what exactly is adult education? There's a lot of misconceptions about it, so I hope to take the first part of this presentation just to sort of set the groundwork for the federal, state, and local definitions and expectations of adult ed. So looking at the federal perspective, adult education is shaped by the Adult Education and Family Literacy Act, which is Title II of the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, WIOA. This was established in 2014, though adult education has been serving our community since about 1970 and statewide in the early 1900s. Federally, we have 4 main goals. There's a lot of text here, but very briefly, it's to help adults build literacy and essential skills for employment, support parents in contributing to their children's education and strengthening family economic stability, assist adults in earning a high school credential, and successfully transitioning to college or career training, and support immigrants and English language learners in developing English and math skills and gaining knowledge of U.S. government and citizenship responsibilities. Adult education is part of all of WIOA, and we are a one-stop system, so we work with Title I, we're Title II, Title III, and Title IV, and we work with them closely. If a student comes through our doors, we'll refer them to the other programs. We've recently started to build up our relationships with Title I programming with Goodwill Workforce Solutions. They are able to help our learners get access to transportation and technology, so then they can actually come to class. In Maine, we view adult education as more than just a single program. It's a career pathway system. So we have intake, assessment, advising, instruction, and individualized learning plans with the sole purpose of preparing our learners for post-secondary training, employment, and a productive life. This comes from state statutes at the bottom there. So our work is data-informed, locally responsive, and grounded in strong partnerships with certified staff, continuous improvement, and a commitment to community needs. Adult education provides flexible pathways that helps adults move forward with confidence and purpose. As a state, as an adult ed program in the state, we're expected to meet these performance measures. Last year, our program received a certificate of achievement for being a top performer by hitting all of these. And we hope to keep that up going into this year. In 2018, Maine reorganized adult educations into 9 regional hubs. So those are aligned with the workforce boards because we are part of the career pathway system in Maine. We are Hub 7, also called Mid-Coast Hub 7, which is why we changed the name of our program. Grants are scored at the hub level, so our federal and state grants are scored at the hub level. So we're not just like adult eds in the same area. We actively have to work together to make sure that we are providing all of the services that adult ed needs to have. So this image comes from the Maine Department of Ed Office of Adult Education to talk about adult ed's role in the public education pipeline. Sometimes we're thought of as a separate entity, but really we're part of the system. So where there's breaks in the pipe, we come in to support for high school completion, Maine college and career access. So if somebody's interested in college, not quite sure how to get started, we can support that. If they've enrolled in college and have to stop out for one reason or another, whether that's resources or they need some help with their skill level, we support that. And then we also have workforce training. Okay, so now we can turn over to our program. Our program serves RSU 40 and RSU 12. We're an interlocal program, so we serve Mahomet and Sheepscot Valley. We have 12 towns in 4 counties across that, across those 2 districts, with 436 square miles collectively. So we have a lot of space, and our learners they struggle with transportation, so we get very creative on how to meet their needs. So we have remote learning options. We also have some programming, mostly community enrichment in Whitefield, Waldeboro, and Warren. Where was I? So we support all of those communities by following our mission, which is to build a foundation of lifelong learning by supporting adults and out-of-school youth in gaining the knowledge, skills, and understandings they need to achieve personal, academic, and career success. And we fulfill that mission through our part-time team. I'm joined recently with Alex Kelly. She's our program assistant. Tom Rubin and Kathy Jack are our co-teachers in our HiSET lab. So students can drop into HiSET lab and either have a math instructor or an English instructor readily available to support them. And then Deb Carter works with students remotely and does some science prep. We also have a lot of enrichment instructors. I was only able to list a few there. Some of them have been supporting our community since 2009, offering some classes. We have 4 overarching programs. So core academics, it's core academics because they're all rooted in the college and career readiness standards. Adult basic education, which we have a digital literacy program starting in the spring, high school equivalency, and college and career access. We have the ARROW program, which is advising, resource, referral, and opportunity workshops. So we work with anybody, whether they're our learners or if they're a community member, on economic mobility mentoring. Where are you at right now and where do you want to go? That's where a lot of the referrals to WIOA partners come in, so we can get people into the workforce or into college. Then we have workforce training. Most of the time we refer people to MCST Adult Ed because they have the traditional workforce pathways there and wonderful workforce pathways there. We have certificate programs locally, so we have the OSHA 10, the BHP, a training course for becoming a registered Maine guide. People that go in through that program have a 90% success rate on the exam to become a registered Maine guide. Those who do not have a 40% pass rate. Local daycares will send their staff to our pediatric first aid, CPR, and AED to make sure that our daycares locally are certified. We also recently added in basic life support, so most healthcare professions need that certification as well. And then what a lot of people know Adult Ed for is community enrichment, because you get the catalog in the mail, here's all the fun classes. Anybody and everybody can sign up for those classes, so that's why it tends to be the most well-known. Their courses designed for the community, by the community, to foster connection to community members, to the schools, and to lifelong learning. We primarily have creative arts. That says culinary arts. I don't know if you're also getting the glare. Health and wellness and technology courses in that. Looking at our program and participation trends, our program provides opportunities for learners of all ages. 16 to 24-year-olds tend to be in our core academics. All ages except for 16 to 20 are in our workforce training right now. I'm hoping to increase that by doing some more career advising work, and then community enrichment serves all ages except for that 16 to 20 bucket. So throughout our main programs, we're serving every age group in the region. We currently have 16 learners in our academic programs. They're resilient learners who have career goals that range from becoming a priest to a butcher. So we get to be very creative with what the career pathways look like. Most of our academic learners are coming in at an education functioning level of 3, so that's a grade level equivalent of 4 and 5. So we're starting with learners at grade levels 4 and 5 and trying to, well, we do actively get them to a grade level equivalent of 12, so then they can pass the HiSET exam. Our second largest group is 6 to 8. So currently students are not coming in with a education functioning level above 8th grade, except for we have one student. We have 104 members of the public enrolled in our community enrichment programs. Our community loves culinary arts. We have a lot more of those coming, and creative arts. And community enrichment would not exist without the support of the schools and the custodial staff. They make that happen. So our program goals. We have the same goals as the RSU 40 comprehensive plan, but we have one that is our own, which is community engagement, strengthening lifelong learning through collaboration, shared resources, and active community involvement. So just for the sake of time, I'm only going to focus on one objective in each goal and talk about what we are actively doing related to that. So goal 1, student learning curriculum. Adult ed curriculum is based on community need. We don't have a set curriculum, it's based on what's actively needed. It can be different for every adult ed. Ours will be different than Prescott and Lewiston. So we developed a community needs survey, and our community shared that they wanted college success courses and digital literacy courses, so that's why those are coming in the spring. Those are rooted, well, the college success course is rooted in the college and career readiness standards for adult ed learners, adapted from the Common Core. That is a state mandated standards for us to follow for any curriculum that falls in those core academics. And then we have North Star digital literacy standards to support the digital literacy course. We're doing a curriculum review. Most of our HiSET materials are for higher level learners, but the students that we're seeing right now need lower level supports. So we're working with other adult ed programs to figure out what resources we need to have to supplement that. Every student is required to take that CASAS assessment that determines the education functioning level, and we're working on developing a better plan for having that directly go to teachers to help determine the individual learning plans. Personnel development and support. I'm part of the MDOE Office of Adult Education and Professional Development Advisory Committee, it's a mouthful, to make sure that our team and their needs are heard at the state level, so there can be PD available for them. We are also part of the Mid-Coast Hub 7 Adult Ed Professional Learning Committee as a group, and then I'm part of the planning group for that. And we are matching our staff with mentors in other adult ed programs. Most of our staff is very new. They have not been in the district for more than 2 years, so trying to find a mentor. I went off script. Facilities. The biggest change there is our move to Union. It provides a clean slate for learners. Having the larger space, we're able to actually have resources now. So having the curriculum review is perfect timing with the change because we can start collecting more resources. And then goal 4, community engagement. Access and outreach is our second objective in that. So as I said in the beginning, we've changed our name to make it more clear who we serve. All adult ed programs lost their websites a couple months ago, so we had to quickly adapt. And so now we have our own website that is locally owned, so we will not lose that again.
Why did you?
Yeah.
Why did you lose?
So our websites are through the Maine Adult Education Association, and the association decided to do directory pages instead of full websites. So, yeah.
Oh, that's fine, thank you.
And then we will be having our new catalog. It's going to be on magazine paper with a lot more information in it. So historically, it's been mostly community enrichment based, but we're going to add a lot more academics. We know there are at least 93 learners in our community that have started with our services who didn't complete, and we're hoping that by getting that in their hands, following up with a postcard to each of those learners, inviting them back in, we'll see those numbers increase. Okay, and that's all I have. The last thing I will say is it's adult education, so everybody in this room can come and take a class, receive a service, and if you have any questions that you want to talk after, I'm happy to talk after as well. But any questions?
I'd like to make a comment.
Yeah.
When Leah and I talked with you last week, we got a sneak peek of the catalog, and it is stunning. It's beautiful and so professional. And
She disclaimed that it was like a very
It was-
rough draft.
it was-
Yeah.
if you think that's a rough draft, I can't imagine what the final product is going to be, because it was spectacular.
That's great. I'm really glad to hear that.
We always love getting ours in the books.
Yeah.
I've got a question about some of our learners who are either in the program or trying to reach them. I assume, I'm thinking about, professional development and then life skills and all these things, and housing comes into that as well.
Mhm.
And like, do we have these kind of auxiliary programs as a part of this, or other programs that we work with our learners where we're making sure that they've got, like, if they're out on their own, that they've got adequate housing, or these other life skills where they've got like understanding like access to food, and so that they can also come and be like a functioning learner? Because just thinking about like a whole package of being like a functioning adult, what that looks like.
Yeah, so that's part of our intake process. We have a section where we talk about what sort of barriers are they facing, and that triggers referrals.
Okay.
We work with Maine Housing. They have a restart program where if somebody receives a Section 8 voucher, they can get some additional funds if they're working with the HiSET program and through this restart program to help with ensuring that people are housed.
Okay, cool.
I just wanted to mention that the person's not here tonight, but we should just say that Takia came to Danielle and I and just said that things at the high school weren't working so well because she was sharing a space with another person right in the space, and the kids who had dropped out of high school couldn't. They had to go back in the high school to go to the program, and so she expressed that concern to us, and then Danielle and I were talking to people in the office, and it was one of those synchronicity things where Karen Pike just said, oh my goodness, we have the nurse secretary left, so we could move that office over here, change our storage, and have Takia be at Union, which gives those kids a new place to go where they don't feel embarrassed. There's a lot more to the new location than just we moved her from. I just wanted to bring out, like, number one, I wanted to give Karen Pike credit because I couldn't, when she figured it out, I was like, oh, that's awesome. We still have to work on the health office and the confidentiality a little bit because it's in that area where there's no ceiling all the way to the top. So I talked to her the other day. We're gonna figure out how to make that a little more confidential because she has to talk to parents about health stuff. But the space, when you walk into the Union School, you might not see it at night at the board meetings. It's kind of dark, but when you look in the space, it's like a school for these kids, and they are there. And I was just so happy that A, Takia asked, B, that we listened, and C, that Karen was so creative to figure it out literally within minutes.
Yeah, it happened very quicker than I could have ever expected.
Yeah, it's all about the kids. So we thank you for coming over, and we enjoy having you there. It's fun.
Yeah.
So it's fun to see the kids.
And they like to feel seen. I think that that's a big piece of the move too. They don't have to go through a space where they might have some shame or guilt. We have our own door. They come right into the classroom, and also being right off 17, we serve RSU 12 too. So that's a lot easier for those learners to come our way.
And Linda got a little tiny bit more space in her building.
Yeah.
She desperately needs, so it helped everybody.
Do they share the same, is it evening hours? I mean, are you guys having to be creative with times that the kids can come in for classes, or are they dropping in and out kind of creative, and I mean into the actual space, driving in and out? Like, are they coming in for certain periods of time, or is everyone kind of having to be fluid for when they're coming in?
So for the most part, our labs happen in the evening,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll have one-off appointments with students
Yeah.
during the day.
Okay.
I'd like to see more daytime, but there's some limitations. There's not a lot of parking in at that
Yeah.
school. So just being thoughtful of that. So for the most part, anything that's happening during the day is one-on-one.
Sort of just another comment too, about how when you first came on, everybody was really excited about your enthusiasm for this role, and it sounds like you've just knocked it out of the park and had somebody who has the ability to, like Tom said, sort of like recognize like, I don't feel like this is necessarily the best scenario, but also to speak up and advocate and move the ball along. Like that's amazing. And it sounds like you are just the right person to have a job. So thank
It
you.
helps that I'm a child of an adult learner or two adult learners. So
It's
I have
just-
that
yeah.
like ingrained in me.
Yeah. I have one more question.
Yeah.
Do kids have to, you have to have parent permission to sign up? Okay, so anybody under 18 would either have to be emancipated or have parent permission, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
And they also have to withdraw from the high school, so they also need the high school's permission
Understood. Okay. Thank you.
or approval.
Sure.
If you ever want to talk about adult ed, whether it's like what we're doing or adult learning theory, you can always contact me and I will be happy to talk to you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I always want to sign up for every class.
I know.
Me too.
This is the year of doing ceramics.
Yes.
I just want to make those 70s ceramic Christmas trees.
Yes.
I have
With the
one.
lights.
I don't have
You
one.
put the lights
You have
on.
one?
I have my grandparents
Oh,
in
like
actually
real
like the
one.
legit.
My
grandma's
so kitschy.
Yes.
I just love it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Nope. Somehow I won the
It didn't get
inheritance
broken.
lottery.
It's still alive.
It's still alive. There are a couple of ding dongs missing, but no, it's in good shape.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much, Tia.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you so much.
Quite a bit, thank you.
Next up we have our presentation by Crystal, the principal here at Prescott.
So I don't have a presentation like that. I just pulled some data from this school. I'm just gonna just let you see this really quick. It's just a comparison of last year and this year. And then I was hoping that we could just do a walk around to all the classrooms because the teachers have put out student work for all of you to see.
Nice.
And when I was trying to find out where you were, I went in a couple
She's
of them
in
and said,
second.
oh, they got a bunch of.
That was
Yeah.
great. She's had like,
Yeah.
there's two more kids maybe in this class, and 8 or 9 of them are doing the whole 3 years, right?
So this little triangle here, this is our PBIS triangle. We want green. Green is good. It's looking at the referrals. So this is last year's data. And that little table on the bottom where it says 0, that means we had 73 of our students did not receive 1 for last year. And then if you flip to the data to date, there's more green there.
Wow.
Very Christmassy.
Yeah, full Christmas tree.
And you'll notice if you look at that table at the bottom that really we had 1 kiddo that was here that was receiving most of the referrals, and that student is now in the proper program. So that's great for that student. Because besides that, we only have between 2 to 5 kids that also received a referral. So I'm proud of that. And then the next thing is just looking at our attendance. I know last year as a district, we were, started really focusing on attendance and still are. Last year, I thought the data was pretty good. Chronic absenteeism rate was 14.3%, which I believe was the lowest in the district. And now we have that, at 6.1. So it's only 6 students that are considered chronically absent. So So again, still room for improvement, but I think that's improvement from last year. And some things, again, like, it's unavoidable, you know, if families are taking trips, they're sick, there's just some things that can't be avoided, so. And then I just have a little bit of information there. We have 14 students that are enrolled in special education, and just a reminder that our special ed teacher is a half-time special ed teacher. 14 students. She's also a half-time interventionist, so she's doing double duty. Tier 3 students, we have 9 students that are receiving that, and it's both her and myself. We are the ones that provide that tier 3. 2 of those 9 students are in the referral process for special education. And then the little table at the bottom, those are students that are in tier 2, so they have not met their benchmark for reading and math, and so they are receiving additional support and interventions in the classroom with the classroom teacher.
So it could be that the grade K kids, the 2 kids are 4 kids, 1 for reading and 1 for math. How many double dip? Does that make sense? Is that
For that grade there, it's actually the same
the same?
2
You know-
kiddos. Yeah.
Sorry if I didn't say it well.
Yep.
I just,
No,
yeah,
but
it's
that's-
tricky to.
Yes. For some, not all, but for some it is both, that they are
Yep.
needing that support. Mhm. And that's what I have, I want to share with you, and the rest is in the classrooms. If you guys have any questions for me, Danny?
Where your chronic absentee is down,
Yep.
are you doing anything different this year than last year?
So a couple of things, you'll notice on some of the classrooms, there's little paw prints at the top, so we are doing a little competition. We are acknowledging those kiddos at our assembly too, so we have certificates that we're giving out. We're keeping track of it more, and the students are aware that we're keeping track of it. We passed out some certificates for either perfect attendance, or if they only had, 1 tardy, 1 whatever, we're acknowledging that. And then the classroom that has the best attendance for the week, they get the panda to go into the classroom, and then they'll get a little paw print that goes outside the door room just to recognize that, hey, okay, this, first grades had the perfect attendance for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is. So, and the students recognize, oh, we didn't get one. Second grade just got it last week. So they're like, yay, we finally got it.
It is a big deal, I can attest.
And again, that's something like we're looking at, tardies or early pickups. I mean, that counts too, because every minute counts. So we're trying to make sure, and obviously for those kiddos, it's not always in their control, but still, if they're sharing it with their families too, hey mom, I really gotta be there, I gotta stay, can you just pick me up later? I mean, and you hear them talking about it, so those are a couple of things that we've done differently just to try to help our numbers.
Thank you.
I probably said this at the beginning. Is this data up to this point from last year comparable, like September through December of last year?
This was the whole year.
Okay.
Last year's is for the whole year, yeah. And then this year's just, right.
Yeah, I mean, I truly can at least say that from the parent standpoint, that those things are working. Like Frankie has come home after the awards things, and she was like, I didn't get the perfect attendance award. Like, I don't remember what day I was not at school. I was like, I don't know, honestly, I can't even tell you. But and then they came home and she came home in 2nd grade, got it, and like very, very excited to talk about it. I feel like getting the kids excited from that level, just having a stuffed animal in their room is like enough. And I think having them being excited to come to school as opposed to like, I don't know, I think it's a wise intervention strategy, because kids will do a lot for a panda in class. So I really do feel like it's working from that
I
level.
figure out something for the parents.
Yeah. Yeah, what do we get? Yeah.
That was a loaded statement.
Yeah.
on time.
Yeah. Good job.
Red
Well,
green
and you
now.
see that
You got a cup of coffee.
when they show up in the morning, they'll be looking at their watch like, go,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's awesome.
It's great.
Anybody else have any questions here before we go on our tour?
So everybody has kind of done something different in each classroom. We have our academic night next week too, where the parents will be coming in. So I try to just let them know, okay, do something that can be used for both nights. So yeah, there's different things that are out there for you all to see. Some of them wrote little statements explaining. Pre-K, she has pictures of students doing the actual centers, but then she has a little blurb saying what they're doing, what they're learning, and their first grade, she has so much. There's a 22-minute long video, just talks about everything, which I know we're not gonna be able to watch all that, but there's a lot. I do have a handout that I will give all of you from her. But yeah, so there's just different things in each of the classrooms, but I figured you might appreciate just being able to see student work.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, it's 5:33 and we're adjourned.